So my current blood sugar is 102 with a slight arrow headed up. I just had some Skittles because my blood sugar was on the low side, and I pre-bolused for a meal I shouldn't have, even though I thought it was going to make me go up because these particular crackers make my blood sugar go up pretty fast, but this time they didn't, and that's okay. I had a pack of Skittles. We're going to be good. I'm going to be all good, and hopefully we won't skyrocket, but I shouldn't because I limited the amount that I took. So with that being said, we'll jump into today's video. Hey everyone, it's Maddie. Welcome back to my channel, and today's video is kind of more mental and kind of like dealing with like the realm of diabetes with other people and in society. Today I'm going to talk about how to deal with the hate, the stigma, the misconceptions that revolve around living with a chronic autoimmune disease like type 1 diabetes. Now, I hope to do more future videos on how to be confident with your diabetes, and that's something that you learn and acquire as you kind of get more experienced, as you get more comfortable with managing your type 1 diabetes. When I mean I mean how your body reacts to different things, because obviously, as I've said many times on my videos, what I share with you is what I go through and what my body goes through. You may go through the same thing, or you may be the complete opposite or do something different, but that's okay. I'm sharing my experiences on my YouTube channel to help others like me, and hope to make things a little easier for you and not surprise you with things that can happen with diabetes, because diabetes impacts every part of your life. So with that being said, I'm going to share with you how I kind of get around the stigma and the myths and misconceptions that revolve around a type 1 diabetes. First of all, my number one thing for you guys is if somebody comes at you with a myth, a rude comment, a comment that doesn't really make sense with diabetes or isn't true or isn't correct, the first thing I'm going to tell you to do is educate them. Take a moment to educate them. Excuse me, let me shut my phone off again. Let's take a moment to educate people. And when you're educating people, you're spreading awareness about the condition. So when you spread awareness, more people become recognizable through it, and more people are able to recognize that type 1 diabetes is way different than the diabetes they probably know about type 2, or type 1 diabetes isn't all that rainbows and sunshine, I guess you could say. So take a moment to educate people if you can, unless the person obviously is one of these people that probably wouldn't take a learning lesson very well. You can kind of gauge that by the way, the tone of the person's attitude, the person's kind of stature, and how they're perceiving this different myth to you. But anytime somebody says a wrong thing about type 1 diabetes, the first thing I do is I kind of correct it and say what is actually true, and maybe explain a little bit more about the condition. So a basic synopsis I like to use is I have type 1 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes basically means I cannot produce insulin. And without insulin, I cannot regulate blood sugar levels from things and the foods that I eat. So basically it means that every time I eat carbohydrates or feel stressed out, or my body goes through something kind of hormonal, I have to make sure I have insulin in my body to take care of my blood sugar and keep it normal. That's something you can kind of say that way, and you can also add to, like I said, it's an autoimmune disease. Basically, it means my own body mistakenly attacked my own insulin and I can no longer produce it. So I have to get insulin from injections or a pump. Basically, the insulin is like your insulin, but it's made in a lab. You can kind of say something like that. Don't try to like confuse people unless people are like, oh, tell me more. Well, you could say, well, the part of the pancreas that no longer works for me is the beta cells. These are the cells that secrete and make insulin. You could say stuff like that, but like I said, don't go overboard. Keep it very basic. And if the person seems more adamant and curious, tell them more. If someone comes up to you about, like I said, any of your medical devices, like I have the Dexcom G6 and soon to be Omnipod, you know, they can look like totally different devices. They could look like a device used to quit smoking, regulate maybe treatment of cancer, maybe other conditions or medications. And if somebody comes up to you and asks what it is, don't be offended by it. Like, literally just tell them, oh, this is my this is called the Dexcom G6. This is what we call a continuous glucose monitor. This basically means that instead of pricking my finger and getting a blood sample every time I want to know what my blood sugar is, I can look at my phone and see exactly what my blood sugar is and what direction it's headed every 5 minutes. And it's such an amazing tool. Same with your insulin pump. Some people would be like, well, what the heck is that? Well, instead of me doing multiple daily injections, I wear a little device called an insulin pump that continuously delivers insulin when I need it at the push of a button. And I only have to give myself a shot once every 3 days unless something goes wrong. You can kind of, like I said, keep the education going, keep positivity, and don't fly off the handle if somebody says something, because I say for 95% of the people I've encountered, they just don't know enough about type 1 diabetes, and they're saying things that they may think is true, or maybe they're mixing type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes together and thinking that they're the same disease, but they are definitely not. That's why I think it would be kind of cool if we would change the name of our condition, or people would change the name of type 2 diabetes and call it something else, so that we aren't like mixing the diseases up, because type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes are totally different diseases, along with other forms of diabetes like MODY or neonatal diabetes. They are way different. And gestational, that is way, way different than type 1 diabetes. And how they occur are way different. So like I said, educate people, stay positive, do not fly off the handle, but if you feel like you have to defend yourself and somebody is just being pure rude or offending you, stand up for yourself and just tell them to stop. You could tell people at any point that stop, what you're saying is incorrect and it's making me and other people feel uncomfortable. And you know what? I'm going to manage my condition anywhere I want. I need to be able to give myself shots, check my blood sugar, change my insulin pump, monitor my CGM at any point and any time. Please respect that, because what I have, I can't get rid of, and I didn't ask for. That's a very easy way if somebody were to come up to you and say like, ew, you're doing a shot, or ew, you're doing this, or ooh, I don't want to see you check your blood sugar. You have control of that, and your health is way more valuable than somebody else's grossness or embarrassment about seeing you do things. I never have once in the 9 months that I have had type 1 diabetes have done an injection or checked my blood sugar in a bathroom. That is nasty and disgusting. Why would you do that when you're probably posing a risk to your health? Because bathrooms aren't sterile. I mean, they're filled with feces and urine and all kinds of bacteria from other people. So that is not a safe place for you to do an injection. Do it out in the open, but you don't have to make a big scene of it. If you're at a table at a restaurant, it's easy enough to take an insulin pen in your lap, dial the dose, lift up your shirt a little bit, and give yourself an injection. Or if you're even, like I said, under a table and you're wearing a skirt, just roll up your skirt just enough to give yourself an injection in the thigh. You can even do your blood glucose checking in your lap. The devices we have nowadays, like the monitors, the CGMs, and like insulin pumps and insulin pens, are designed to make diabetes more concealable if you want it to be, and not make a big scene of it. Yes, I've gotten looks, but if somebody were to say, please don't do that, I would say, please don't look. Because I'm not going into a bathroom just so you don't have to watch me give myself a shot. I am just as valuable of a person as you are. I am just as worthy as you are to live on this earth and do things on this earth. I was given this disease for a reason, so please don't make fun of me. That is something that I would say, and I would gladly say. And you know what? If it was them having to give a shot, I don't think they would appreciate me coming up to them and saying, I don't really feel comfortable with you doing that there. That's gross. You're going to make me gag, anything like that. You know, if it was them, they wouldn't want me to say that thing. So do unto others what you want done unto you. Would you want somebody coming up to you as a non-diabetic, watching you do something and saying, oh, I don't want you to do that, or stuff like that? We don't appreciate that either. So if you see us do things, you can just carry on with your own business. Don't worry, we're doing things appropriately. But if you are curious, ask us questions instead of making statements. That would be an easier way to do that. But like I said, your health is more important. So if somebody comes up to you, stay positive, educate them, defend yourself if you need to, and find a support system. That is my final and fourth tip for you, is to find a support system. Talk to people who live with this condition. Beyond Type 1 is a great platform for that. Get into Instagram group chats, Snapchat group chats, Facebook groups. There are tons of people that would be willing to help you and share with you how they've dealt with hate and stigma, and it makes you feel less alone. Rely on people when it comes to that. Share your struggles with people, and that's all you simply can do. Educate, stay positive, defend yourself if you need to, and find a support group. So that is how I personally deal with hate, stigma, and myths that revolve around type 1 diabetes. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, look forward to, in the coming weeks, me discussing how I stay confident with type 1 diabetes. Again, as you get more and more experienced, you're going to know how to deal with the hate and the stigma and the misconceptions better. And I'm not, like I said, I'm only 9 months in. I've got a long way to go yet. And it's something that you learn how to deal with very, very quickly, only because you, as a person living with the condition, know it better than anybody else, because you live with it inside your body every single day. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Feel free to hit that subscribe button down below. I post videos every week about diabetes plus more. And continue to comment down below any video suggestions you have for me. I appreciate those that have expressed their condolences for my family friend who passed away. If you didn't see yesterday's video, feel free to go check that out. But thank you to those who have expressed their concern and their condolences. It means more to me than what you ever would see. Hopefully I'm able to respond to everybody's comment. I'm usually pretty good at hearting the comments and responding to comments if need be. So continue to interact with me. Follow me on my social medias if you haven't already. I love to chat with you and love to get to know you a little bit better, just as you've gotten to know me. So until tomorrow for a bonus video, surprise, surprise, I'm doing lots of videos recently. Take care, God bless, be kind, spread positivity, and be thankful. Happy Sunday, everyone. Bye.